What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 48 of the Game Bolt Podcast, the official podcast of thegamebolt.com, your weekly dose of lightning in a bottle. Excuse me. And joining me this week is none other than my co-host, Grant.
What's up?
How's it going?
Not bad. Just it's a Tuesday. We usually record on Mondays, but unfortunately Brett had to go work out.
Some idiot had to go to the gym at
Yeah, some
10 o'clock
idiot,
at night.
who will
That
not
idiot
be
is
named.
me, by the way. And I apologize for that. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry
okay.
about that.
It's okay. We're doing it today, and it's all good.
That's all right. Also joining us is a wonderful human being by the name of John.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm tired. I was
Yeah?
tired.
Oh, because you were somewhere.
I was at a place doing some things.
Not today though. You've just been home all day.
I have been home all day. Yeah, I've been doing absolutely nothing all day. It's been great.
You guys are actually at PAX South together.
We were.
Yes.
How was that?
We met. It was great. It was
Yeah, it was great.
great. Grant was late, but it was fun.
I was late.
Was it hectic? Was it packed?
It
was
was
very
packed.
packed. Yes.
Okay.
And it's
I
funny
figured
too.
that it would
Like
kind of be like a bigger, like just area, but there's a lot of stuff kind of crammed into one.
Well, PAX
Yeah.
South is newer, right? One of the newer.
Yeah, it's the second year.
second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's similar to PSX.
Yeah.
We will get to Penny Arcade Expo discussions later on in the show.
Yes.
But for now, we are going to start with what we're playing. So, John, what are you playing lately?
So lately I've been playing the Lego Marvel's Avengers game. It's pretty fun. I love. It's funny too because right before I downloaded it, I watched the Age of Ultron movie. So it was kind of nice to kind of just go back and watch it and then play it. So
Does that have the Age of Ultron stuff in it too, or is it just the first Avengers?
It does because it has the first like the first movie and actually just beat that, and then I think it transitions into the second one.
Oh, okay. Because I played it with John at our hotel, and we were just playing the first part.
Yeah, because I'm at the part now where it's like they're like the Struckers like experimenting with the twins, and that will lead into but that's fun. The only real complaint I have, and Grant can back me up on this, is that the game does not hold your hand in the slightest bit at all. It doesn't tell you what to do at all. So
Okay.
Like the task, it'll like show you like a little icon, or
But
like
that's it.
it'll give you
That's
like
it.
a trail that
Yeah.
kind of disappears sometimes, but
Yeah, like it'll show you like a picture of a flag, and then that's it. That doesn't tell you anything else. And then eventually we were like, oh, we have to jump up here and then build a flag and then do this thing and go back down here and do
yeah,
this.
it took us like 30 minutes to do something that's really like 5.
Oh, wow.
It did, yeah. But it's fun. The fighting's pretty cool. They're like each character has like their own, obviously their own like abilities and stuff. But then you have like finishing moves. That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
It's fun. Like I said, I just beat the first, I guess, quote unquote movie, I guess, and then I'm getting into the Ultron part now. Besides that, I have been playing. Does anyone watch Rick and Morty?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I
It's
know what
the
it is.
shirt you got, right?
Yes, that is a shirt I got. So Rick is like in the show, he's like some crazy scientist guy, and his grandson is called Morty. So they go on these crazy adventures to other dimensions and whatnot. And then, so I guess they made a game to where, because in one episode, there's a episode where it's like there's a infinite number amount of like Ricks and Mortys. There's different dimensions of them. So they made
wow.
a game called So they made a game called Pocket Mortys, and what it is, it's basically Pokemon with Rick and Mortys.
Huh,
So
wow.
you control Rick and you can capture like there's like up to like 70 or 80 different types of Mortys. So like I have like I have regular Morty, I have Morty with the mustache, and then I have cool guy Morty. But it's basically the same thing. You run around and get badges and you fight other people in the game with Mortys. It's a mobile game. It's pretty fun. Kind of just play it when I'm at work. And then I just downloaded and started playing Helldivers. I'm about an hour into it. It's pretty fun. You basically just run around and shoot stuff.
Isn't it supposed to be really hard?
It has been pretty difficult, actually. Me and Kyle played a few levels, and like each little planet you go to gives you like a couple objectives, and like you have to get this box and bring it here, and then launch the code or something, or launch the rocket, and then you go back and get extracted out. But like the hordes of enemies just like rain on you, man, and it's chaos. And there's friendly fire, so you can kill each other.
Oh boy.
Yes.
That'll
So you're like
that'll
you're
get me
running around.
frustrated.
Yes, and like the second level we jumped into, I killed Kyle on accident.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, because right when we landed, there was like 7 or 8 enemies, and we are like, "Oh, just shoot!" And we didn't know there was friendly fire, and I blew him up, and he died.
Oh no.
Um,
Ryan says Rick and Morty is fantastic.
it is fantastic. You can just watch it. There's only 2 seasons. Just binge it. And
Is
I
it
think
on Hulu?
it is. The first season's on Hulu. You can watch season 2 on AdultSwim.com.
Okay. I don't believe I have Hulu, but I've heard nothing but great things about Rick and Morty. I just want to quickly go back to is it Lego Marvel Avengers? Is that
Yes.
Okay, yeah. There's so many Lego games nowadays.
Yeah, there's like Marvel superheroes, and then there's Avengers, and then
There's
there's
like 18 Batman ones, and then there's
Yeah. So I played the first 2 Lego games, Lego Star Wars 1 and 2, the original trilogy and the prequels, and I, love those games. Played them so much as a kid.
yeah.
And then I tried playing, I want to say it was either Lord of the Rings or Indiana Jones, because they were like $5 in my local game shop.
Oh, wow.
And it's a couple years ago. And
Yeah.
I didn't get around to playing it. And then I think it was Lego Batman 3 was like $5 on Xbox One. And it came with all the DLC. I was like, why the heck not? I haven't played it in a while. And I played the first 2 levels, and I was just like, I totally forget the controls. I
Right.
forget my objective, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on at this point. Like I'm so lost. There was way too much going on for me to handle. Playing it, and I was like,
Right.
maybe at some point I'll come back to it and try and get into it. But for now, it's something I would have to commit to, and I get why people like Lego games. They're so cute and stuff. Actually, I think I also have Lego Jurassic World on Vita, I believe.
That's the one I want to try.
Yeah, I got it. I have my PSX bag right next to me. Actually, let me check this right now. Let me see. I'm checking at the moment. I do.
Nice.
Personally given to me by Gio Corsi of Sony.
What a guy, Geo Corsi.
What a guy.
Great.
That was cool. But yeah, I totally forgot I had that too, so I could easily get into that because I wouldn't mind playing a Lego game on a handheld. But it's there's so many games and so many that could cater to different people. There's of course Indiana Jones, The Lord of the Rings, which would cater to me.
Right.
There's superhero ones, Jurassic World. They're almost like they're Telltale, but an older version, if you will, because 'cause they've been doing it for longer, and they add their own unique comedic charm to it and everything.
Yep.
And it's great, and I always appreciate what they do.
I'll just back that up by saying in the Avengers one, because it pretty much sticks to the movies. It doesn't really deviate too much.
Okay.
And then and when it shows the cutscenes of because you can't play out every scene, it would take forever. But it'll show some of the cutscenes, it'll show someone in the background doing something funny, or they take off their Lego head and then put it back on their body, or it's just funny stuff like that. It's every 2 or 3 minutes something funny happens, just something small, and it makes it I just laugh out loud. I'm like, oh, that's great that they put that in there. And it's serious scenes in the movie, and someone's doing something funny in the background. So
Okay.
I think it's great.
Nice. I was going to transition into speaking of Legos, but that will be actually the first news story we're going to go over, so I'll hold that off for now. Grant, what are you playing lately?
Mostly the same stuff. Black Ops 3, I've spoken enough about that, and also Rocket League, I've spoke too much about that.
Yeah.
Capsule Force is the one new thing I've been playing.
Yes.
But I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to talk about it in our PAX section later. So,
Okay, yeah, I figured you guys played a bunch of games at PAX. That's I wouldn't blame you for wanting to talk about it during your little PAX.
Yeah, but that's one of the games I played at PAX. Me and John just walked up to it, and it was so much fun. I had to buy it.
Nice. Is it on? What system is it on?
It's on PS4, PC.
Okay, nice. So yeah, Black Ops and everything. Excuse me. And to finish it off, I have been playing first Final Fantasy Explorers on the 3DS, and I'm gonna finish writing my review tonight, and expect, if you're interested, expect my review on the site either tomorrow or on Thursday.
Ooh.
Um, so yeah, that'll be fun. It's it's a more simplified Monster Hunter. If
Oh,
and it has good things and bad things. The good is, it's Final Fantasy, and there are, I believe,
right.
I have to double check this, but I believe 21 available job classes that you can
Wow.
choose from, and they all feel, very different from one another. They all have they all use different weapons, and each weapon has a set of abilities that you can use, and you can mix and match. There's a lot of uh customization with the abilities, because as you progress further, you unlock more abilities with certain weapons and such, and some are a lot stronger than others, whereas some are just, like, essentially, you don't have a level in the game, but like, here's
Mhm.
essentially your level 3 ability, and then, like, here's essentially your, level 20 ability. Just,
Right.
think of it like that.
Mhm.
It's it's a lot of fun. I was really impressed with the different areas that you can go to. It's, each area isn't terribly massive, but it is diverse. There are, you know, flame caverns, grasslands, winter, like, snowy mountains, and it's all
Nice.
diverse, and a whole, houses different enemies, and it's a fun game. I've been playing with Cody, Colin, and Kyle. That's repetitive right there. um, but it's, it was really fun, and on solo, it can be difficult at times because you're playing solo, but it's still fun. The quests are easy enough to get through by yourself, and it's just, a matter of trying to be evasive and stay in your toes, because some of the enemies can have some devastating attacks.
Mhm.
And for the bad, which, I'm gonna, of course, go into more depth in my review, but my biggest there's like biggest issue A, biggest issue A. It's like 1A, 1B. 1A, it is tremendously repetitive, and that is in both the
Hmm.
combat and in the fights themselves. Your basic attack is the Y button, and that's what you use to regenerate your AP. Basically, is what you use to sprint and use abilities, and that's, it doesn't do a lot of damage. You're not going to use that primarily to kill an enemy. You're going to use, the abilities you learned and you equipped to your LR, LA, RB, etc. They're, you hold down L, and you press you hold on L, and you have, like, your four skills there, and then you hold down R by itself, and there are four more skills you can
Oh,
assign and
okay.
stuff.
Gotcha.
And everything has its own cooldown. Um, and it's cool to use, like, new skills and everything, but it reaches a certain point where it's like, all right, I'm expecting, uh, I'm just gonna button mash, LB, LA, and then RX, and that should kill the enemy. And if it doesn't, I'll just, hit LY or something. And it's unfortunate because the spells are really cool, but it just gets very repetitive, and that kind of leads into the Eidolon fights, which are, the Final Fantasy summons, Ifrit and Shiva, etc. Um, they are extremely repetitive, and after when you fight him the first time, like, oh, this is so cool. And, I'm fighting Ifrit. He has the Final Fantasy X design. I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
He has some badass moves, and I don't quite know his attack pattern. I'm not sure exactly what to do yet. And then you fight him for the 10th time, and it's like, okay, here comes Hellfire, or here comes
Right.
Diamond Dust, and it's like, all right, just get out of the way and you'll be fine. Um, and that part gets really frustrating. And essentially, the quests are, because they're Eidolons, they're, immortal beings. They just, for story purposes, they just keep coming back, and they slowly get tougher and tougher, but it's not really overly difficult. They, they
Right.
they deal more damage, they have more health, you name it. Um, and it's like, all right, well, I've done this fight 10 times already. It's, he'll have more health this time, or he might have a new move, but it's, the
Mhm.
fight isn't drastically different from my third or fourth time, so it's a bit upsetting there. But it still is cool to fight them. Outside of
Mhm.
Bahamut, Bahamut sucks. He has a move where he'll levitate and he'll fly, and
Yeah.
most of the time you can't hit him with your physical attacks. So it's like, and he'll
Oh
stay
wow.
in the air for 10 minutes sometimes, 5 minutes
Wow.
sometimes, and it's like you have 30 minutes to complete the mission, which is just kill Bahamut, and it's like, well, 5 minutes is being wasted by him just flying around and just flying all around the map, and then he finally lands, and it's right at the entrance, so you can't go that far because you go to the previous area. It's like, come on, it's so annoying. Um, but outside of that, it's they're not terribly difficult fights. There definitely is a noticeable change in difficulty. As you get to like the 5 and 6 star quests,
Mm-hmm.
but once you basically just learn the strategy, it's not terribly difficult. And my other main issue is the frame rate is atrocious. If there are like 5+ enemies on a screen, the frame rate will slow to a crawl. It is
Ow.
painfully slow. Um, you have an Eidolon, or you'll have a giant monster you have to kill, and then 4 or 5+ smaller enemies, and it's just like 1, 2, and it's so slow. It's like, come on.
Dang.
And the other issue, it's something you'll probably have to look up. They have these, I don't know, I don't know why they have them. They have these like awful voice clips. Whenever you talk to somebody, then you say like hello, or welcome, or warrior, or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds just such poor quality. It's like all like grainy and rusty, and like you can tell like it's really not well designed. And
Right.
there's a lady who you can create monsters with, or fuse monsters together. She's the monster lady. She has this creepy laugh, and I'll have to, like, at some point after the podcast, I'll have to turn on my 3DS, and she'll make you so you can listen to it. It's bad. Like, it's not a huge thing. It's just like, oh my god, like, why are these voice clips so bad? But outside of that, though, I mean, I definitely am enjoying the game because I am a fan of Monster Hunter series, and it's Final Fantasy. I mean, of course I'm gonna enjoy it. But I wish it wasn't as repetitive as it is, and I wish the fights were more varied. But still, I mean, if Monster Hunter has a lot of mechanics going on. It's very complex, and it's not the easiest game to get into. So if you want a Monster Hunter like a more simplified version, definitely check out Final Fantasy Explorers. Again, my review will be up on the site either tomorrow or Thursday. If you're a fan of either Final Fantasy or Monster Hunter, I would definitely give it a shot. And with friends, it's a lot of fun. And also, per Indio Techno's request, I just spent like 10 minutes talking about
Yeah.
Final Explorers. I'm going to spend another 10 minutes talking about the Division beta. So, Indio Techno, this one's for you. So, the
It
Division
is for
beta
you.
was going on January 20. Was it the 28th it was on Xbox? Or
28th, I
okay, yeah,
believe.
28th it was on Xbox, and then 29th went to PS4 and other platforms. And then it got, a day extension until I guess yesterday, the 31st. Um, so yeah, the Division. It's an anticipated game for a lot of people, and rightly so. I played roughly 5 hours of it, mostly in the Dark Zone, which is the PvP. But I I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna be buying it at least day one. If anything, I'd maybe wait for a price drop, but I'm at the moment not buying this. Um, it's the gunplay. It feels good. It's a cover based shooter, and the guns, you feel like you have recoil on them, and you can attach silencers and reticles like ACOG scopes and sniper scopes to them, and there's a lot of customization to it, and I'm a big fan of that. You know, th- what Destiny lacked was gun customization. But so
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad the Division has it. I'm gonna be saying a lot actually. I always say let's see, what else? Because like at one point it was fresh in my mind a few days ago, but now it's like, why? What did I like? What did I like? Um, the atmosphere was really cool. I believe the story works. There was a virus that broke out, like a man-made virus that was released upon the people on Black Friday in New York. I believe that's the premise. Um, but yeah, there are cars all along the road just destroyed, and there's people for whatever reason people are just walking the streets like, hey, a virus broke out, and there are gangs throughout New York. What the hell are you doing walking in the streets?
It's
Uh,
Black Friday. We got to shop.
Gotta get some deals.
Yeah.
uh, but it's a really cool atmosphere. It's snowing out. There's a day night cycle. It's New York. It can get redundant. Like some of the streets look the same, so it's tough to differentiate among everything. But it looks great. And it's I feel like I'm walking around New York, and I'm definitely immersed in it. I think there was only one main mission, and it was interesting. It kind of gets you a feel for the mechanics. There are, how Destiny and other games. There's basic enemies, and then there's the elite enemy, or the guy who's a lot
Mm-hmm.
who might drop better loot in the process.
Right.
Essentially the same thing here. They're very intimidating, and I remember playing with my brother and Kyle the first day, and we got done the first mission, and we almost nearly wiped. We almost nearly got killed because we were behind cover, and then out of nowhere, these guys with melee weapons came out and started hitting us. And we had a fight on two fronts. It was like, holy crap, we're getting attacked by melee guys, and then in the distance, we had people shooting us. And it's like, oh god. And I think one of us went down at that point, and I was like, oh, like this is really stressful. It's very high tension. And we made it out of the fight, and it felt so good afterwards. And you get your loot and everything. The RPG mechanics, there were only 3 skills to use, and I mean, it's a beta, so you don't want to reveal too much. But I was a bit disappointed. It's just my personal thing. I was a bit disappointed because the RPG stuff wasn't as deep as I felt like it could have been. But I can understand them not wanting to show off all the exciting stuff they have, for
Right.
the character development and everything. And it just felt like every character was the same. There was a skill where you could shoot a grenade, like a detachable grenade at a target, and then you could blow it up. And there's also essentially like a healing skill where you could like heal anybody within your radius. Um, it's it definitely feels good to play, and there's loot. There's you can get randomly generated loot from enemies, and so you can go to the store and sell that, or you can buy new gear from vendors, and it's great. And I hope the campaign improves upon it. And then there is the Dark Zone, which is the
Mm.
1v1 kind of V1. There are AI units there, but in the beta version, they were very scarce. You didn't come across them very often, unfortunately. And I believe they were all set in specific locations. Like they would die and then they would respawn in that same location. So
Like
you
Destiny.
yeah, you kind of learn where they were, and like, okay, I know these group of AI spawns in this tunnel or on this rooftop. So you kind of learn and you expect, okay, I need to get some Dark Zone experience or some currency. Okay, I'll just go here and take care of the AI here because I know they're there.
Mm.
Excuse me. But there's out like the single player stuff, the multiplayer, the regular game has its own leveling system. I think I was 6 or 7. Excuse me. You start at 4 and then you work your way up. And the Dark Zone has its own leveling system. You start at 1 and then you can kill other people or you can kill AI. Discover locations, and that's how you get experience. And getting experience, when you level up, you're able to unlock certain chests. And the loot in the Dark Zone is considered contaminated, so you can't
Ooh.
just there are entry points between the main stuff and the dark zones. There's like a bridge. It's like a little area that bridges the gap between the two, and so you can't directly leave It's like the safe zone, if you will. You have to call for an extraction, which takes about 2 minutes for the helicopter to arrive, and then you have 30 seconds to put your loot on. And the dark zone is where it gets super intense, super stressful. Um, you can't trust anybody, and it's so scary. I was playing with Kyle, and essentially what happens is if you shoot people enough, you get the status you're considered rogue, and it will appear on the map to other players around the area. This guy's rogue. You should kill him because he
Oh.
attacked somebody else, and now he's considered the bad guy. And you have about 60 seconds. You have a minute to try and escape, and you can't attack anybody because the timer will reset. And if you excuse me, I cannot stop coughing. If you kill somebody, the time extends. So you get 2 minutes now, or you get 3 minutes, and it keeps going up into rank 5, which is now considered manhunt, and you are threatened. If you're manhunt, everybody's gonna come after you. Kyle and I reached that point, and we tried to hide in the subway, and we came up, and there were people around us, and there were like 4 or 5 people on me, and then Kyle made it out alive. Uh, I ended up dying. I don't know. I can't remember if Kyle died later on or if he just survived I think it was 5 minutes. And even if you just shoot a human once, the timer resets. So we would get down to like 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes, and we'd shoot somebody, and it goes right back to 5 minutes. It's like, oh my god,
Oh man.
waste. Um, but it's so intense, and there are times where my brother and I go, okay, let's go rogue hunting. Let's go find people who are rogue and just hunt them down because it reached a certain point where we didn't really need the loot anymore, so we kind of just mess around and do whatever. The extraction zones themselves are so intense. We you can I think carry 6 contaminated items at once, and say you get this really awesome assault rifle or an SMG, some kind of armor piece you really really want to use. It really is an improvement for your character. Well, you could have 20 seconds left until the helicopter arrives, and boom, out of nowhere, other people start coming up and just shooting you and kill you, and they take you. And it's like, crap. I was so excited to get that, and then I just got killed, and you really can't trust anybody. There was an occasion where there were the 4 of us all waiting for the extraction, and then 4 people came along, and we had our guns on them. We were ready. Like at some point, we know you guys are gonna open fire, and an all-out battle broke out. And then it was four on
That's awesome.
four, and just essentially our team versus whomever else. I wasn't sure. They were all on a team, or if they were 2 separate teams. And like eventually, it was like a battle of like 10 to 12 people, and it was just crazy. It's like I just want to get my loot and get out of here. I just want my guns, please. So it's a lot of fun. It's again, it's really intense. You cannot trust anybody in there, outside of your party members, because they could very well be friendly, and then in an instant they can turn their back on you. I remember I got an invite for some guy. I was like, oh cool, I'll join up with you, and then I think I was busy, so I couldn't accept it. 3 seconds later, he starts shooting us. I was like, dude, what the hell? You just letting me your party. Why are you shooting me now? My one issue with excuse me, the dark zone is it's very easy to go rogue, and I don't remember in the aforementioned party 4. I don't remember if 2 of our teammates were intentionally shooting people, but I felt like every second you were going rogue, and it's like I don't want to go rogue. Right now. I just want to go out and find some contaminated gear that I can bring back, and it was really frustrating. But it's the dark zone is it's it's really really intense. I cannot recommend it enough. But overall, the division it's good. If you're excited for it, definitely be excited. It is a beta. I was kind of cynical. I was like, I wish there was more, because I definitely got bored towards day 2 and day 3, and my brother tried explaining to me, like, it is a beta, so it's mainly for feedback. And I was like, I mean, you're absolutely right, but I got tired of going to the same areas and seeing the same stuff and seeing the same loot over and over again. So I was like, it wore out its welcome for me. But if you're excited for the division, fantastic. And if you play the beta, let us know in the Twitch chat. And it's definitely a promising game, but ultimately I won't be buying it. So yeah, that was the Division review.
Yeah.
That was another 10 minutes. You were right.
Was it really? Yeah, I couldn't think of stuff on the top of my head, so I kind of just swung in and just let's just talk about the Division. It's good. So anyways, on to the news storm.
Boom.
Boom.
I was saying, speaking of Lego, yesterday there was a leak of Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and
Ooh.
now WB Interactive has officially announced the game, and there will be a deluxe edition, and there was a launch trailer which highlights, of course, the comical and, cutesy Lego stuff, and it looks fun. The trailer revealed story details where this is via IGN, of course. Some parts of the game will explore quote the time between Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Um, there are Xbox One and PS4 Deluxe editions which contain an exclusive Finn minifigure, as well as a droid character pack and Phantom Limb bonus for the and this is exclusive to the PS4 version. I guess the level bonus is. The PS3 will apparently have access to the content as well, and the deluxe version will contain the season pass. So it was originally listed on Amazon Italy, as a leak, and later on it appeared in the Xbox store, and WB finally said, it's real. Here's Lego Star
Right.
Wars: Force Awakens, and it's coming to pretty much all platforms: PS3, 360, Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, 3DS, PC, and
Everything.
yeah,
PS2.
I wish. And it's set to release on June 28th. So, are you guys excited for this iteration of Lego, or is it just another one you're gonna pass up and just like, oh, it's cool, it's more Lego?
I mean, it's cool. Like, I'll probably buy it when it gets cheaper. Probably, definitely not at launch. Just because a lot of Lego games are kind of the same, just different themes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really like the Lego games. I didn't really comment on Avengers earlier, but it's a fun game. It's just like I haven't
Yeah.
played one in a while, which I think is kind of why I enjoyed that one.
Okay.
The little bit that I played with John. But yeah, I definitely think that I'll get because I think probably the whole Star Wars collection that they did before, that's maybe my favorite Lego game.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll definitely be getting it at some point, but at launch I don't think I can justify the price for something that's just kind of a rehash.
Yeah, that's fair. I know the way I look at it. I look at it in the terms of how much content will there be. Because if it was just The Force Awakens, and I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I can't see myself spending $60. It was just gonna be one game. Just
Yeah, that's
covering
fair.
one movie. And then they could add content to make up for that. But I'm curious to see what content will be there that bridges the gap between episode 6 and 7. It's more Star Wars, and since I tried playing Lego Batman 3, I've come to that conclusion. I'm not really into the Lego games as much as I was when I was a kid, so I'm gonna ultimately pass on it. Plus, I think Persona 5 will probably be out then, so that's another reason why I wouldn't be playing it. But I'm very excited. Fantastic. It's more Lego and Lego Star Wars, which is of course super popular. So, it's fantastic. John, are you looking forward to it at all?
I think the one thing that piques my interest at all is just be the content that kind of gaps the movies together.
Mhm.
But other than that, to me, like any Lego game that comes out, I'm like, oh, that's neat, and then I don't really play them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got Avengers just because I love the movies. Movies are great, and then I haven't played one since I think the Star Wars ones a
Okay.
long time ago. So I was like, oh, I'll just get back into it, and it's fun. But another one is just like, oh, I mean, that's cool. Like I can see him doing another one. But
I
it's
know
like,
I would get tired of it.
yeah.
Like if I were a kid again, I know I'd be playing
Oh,
all the
right.
Lego games, of
Yeah.
course. It's
Yeah.
Supposedly even like the Lego movie one was really good.
oh really?
Yeah.
I know. For a while, I wanted to play Lego City Undercover on Wii
Dude, that
U.
one's so good.
Really, yeah, essentially
Oh.
GTA, but a Lego version of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, no,
Sounds
no, that's
fantastic.
that's my favorite Lego game, not the Star Wars collection. I take it back.
Okay.
That one's so good.
I mean, yeah, it's I agree with you, Johnny. Like, oh, it's cool, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure, and I do agree with the point. The bridging the gap. What is it going to be? Stuff that they just make up, or
Right.
be stuff that's canon, within the Star Wars universe that
Hmm.
officially, via Disney, like officially happens.
Right.
I'm curious to see how they handle that, but come June, we'll see. Lego games generally are received very well, and
Hmm.
understandably so. I mean, they're a lot of fun. So on to the next one. So last year, Bethesda killed it at E3, with
Yes.
Fallout and some other game announcements. So they killed it so much so that they are coming to E3 2016. They have confirmed it. So, uh, the publisher announced their plans for E3 2016, and they tweeted out a picture today, and their events will be on Sunday, June 12th at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern time, PM.
Doing Sunday again.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think it was like 11 o'clock last year Eastern time,
Yeah, it was
either
late.
10 or 11. Um, at last year's E3, we saw, of course, Fallout 4 for half an hour, and then we
Hmm.
finally got to see Doom, and that looked
Yes.
great.
Doom looks really good.
Dishonored
It does look
2,
good.
I was so excited about. Some other games. We don't know quite yet, what we're gonna see, but I in the picture, it says, RU game and Bethesda E3 showcase, and the picture includes Skyrim, Fallout, Doom, Dishonored, a collection of their high marquee games, IPs, and I'm curious for you guys. What do you think we will see there? I mean, it's early because it's February, but I mean, what do you think we will?
Yeah.
Yeah, at E3. E3 predictions already underway.
Right.
Three things. I
Already.
already know. I already know three things.
Three things.
No, okay. So number one, they're gonna have some like Fallout expansion thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Number two, they're gonna have a new Wolfenstein game.
Ooh.
Oh.
And
Okay.
number three, this one's like kind of a bold prediction, but there's gonna be a new Elder Scrolls game that's not
Yes.
made by Bethesda.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
You think it would be Obsidian? Because Obsidian did Fallout New Vegas.
yeah, it might be Obsidian. That's probably the most logical studio that would work on it. But yeah,
Okay.
I just don't think
That's
that.
a
I feel like just because Bethesda, because there were some rumors that they were gonna like just show a logo for Elder Scrolls 6 at last E3. Um, but I really don't think that they've had enough time to like work on like. I feel like they wouldn't have a press conference if they didn't have something like big to show.
Mhm.
So I just kind of feel like that has to be there just for just kind of the, you know.
Yeah, I understand. John, what about you? What do you make of
Um.
this?
Just because when I saw the picture, I saw the little Skyrim guy, so I was super excited about something Elder Scrolls. So whatever it is, hopefully it's not the online thing again that didn't do
Just look
too good.
online.
Yeah, but hopefully it's hopefully it's another. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the picture. I was like, ooh, another Elder Scrolls game. So that's really the only thing I would think of right now. And what Grant said, the Fallout expansion or whatever.
Season
I think
pass
that's
stuff, like a
yeah,
DLC.
I think that's a good prediction.
Yeah, that I wouldn't put that out of the realm of possibility. Um, I, for me, I think for sure we're gonna see Dishonored 2, excuse me.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Doom, which we still don't have release date for. I could see us getting a little bit more footage, but mainly a release date of that
Hmm.
at their press conference, which would make sense. This is their
Think
conference.
that might come out in fall.
Um, I definitely think it could. I mean, they have a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah,
Um,
when is Doom slated for? Isn't that spring?
I don't know. I would have to look into that. That sounds
I'll
familiar
look it.
though. If you could look it up, that would be great. But of course, Dishonored 2, which Dishonored 1 came out in 2012, and I believe I'm not sure if Arcane Studios got working on Dishonored 2 right away, but I think they're ready. I mean, they announced it last year, and I think they're ready, and they're ready with a release date too. So, I'm very excited for that. Um, of course, an Elder Scrolls game is there is of course a chance. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
there's a 100% chance, but there's definitely a chance. I mean, you definitely can't count that out.
Right.
So it says Doom first half 2016.
Okay, so I mean, if we get a release date before E3 and it comes out before E3, then I'll be curious to see, what would take its place, or because they could definitely talk about, Doom for 10 to 15 minutes of the show, and I believe they have a game called Battle Cry, which I don't know if it's a MOBA.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, the idea, it sounds like a MOBA. There are like different classes, and they all each have specialized skills and everything. Great, if you could look it up too, that'd be fantastic. I mean, what else could we see? I know they announced some kind of Elder Scrolls game.
Did they?
I believe so. I'll have to look that up. It wasn't a huge. I think it was a card game or something.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah,
It was
nothing huge.
Yeah.
Maybe get a little more details on that, but I'm not expecting 20
Right.
minutes of this Elder Scrolls
Card game.
I
What a great show.
I wouldn't expect that. But they could announce a new IP. It's
That would
Bethesda.
be
Who the
interesting.
hell knows what's gonna happen?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm optimistic, of course, that Dishonored 2 gets a release date and we get it this year. I think Arcane Studios is ready to really talk about their game. Doom will have to see if it comes out before June, then it won't be at E3. And of course, if we don't get anything, then if I wouldn't be surprised if it's at E3. So it's interesting to see them going so early. They're already announcing that they're going to be at E3, and we all thought this was a one-time thing. It's Fallout 4 plus other stuff, and that was it. But it seems like they may also have a lot of stuff up their sleeve as well for 2016. I don't expect it to be an annual thing, but
Yeah, me neither.
when Bethesda's talking, we listen. Because they're
Right.
one of the most respected publishers and companies in the games industry. And I kind of want to briefly go into this actually. This is kind of relevant to E3 itself too. So EA will not be at E3. So this story is a few days old actually. It's almost a week old, but I figured it's not too late to talk about it. So it kind of ties into stuff, and it goodness gracious, kind of ties into sarcastic Snake's question, which I'll get to afterwards. So EA, they're not going to have a main show for at E3, but they're going to have a fan-oriented EA Play event, and this is via Polygon. So they announced EA Play. It's a 3-day offsite event at Club Nokia near the LA Convention Center. From what I've heard, it's not very far at all. It's you could walk there. It will be available to the public, and it will run on June 12th, Sunday, to the 14th, and a companion event will also be held in London. And further, EA will move its regular pre-E3 keynote to the Sunday preceding E3 at June 12th at 1 p.m. And they will still have stuff for the press, but they're not going to have a big conference. So it seems to be a more public event for the fans to get people excited. I know personally, I have felt that EA's conference has had.
Yeah, I was about to say EA's conference is kind of pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, people of course care about FIFA and Madden.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of their games that they market are to the people that aren't watching E3 though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people that are gonna buy, a few games a year, and that being Battlefield and sports games and stuff. Yeah. We know what Madden is. We know what FIFA is. We don't need 20 minutes on each
Right.
new things. Um, you can read upon, what the new feature in FIFA will be, or what's
Right.
Madden or NHL. You don't need to have Pele on stage and everything. It's cool for fans and everything, but it's definitely interesting. I'm curious to see, what they will have available for EA Play for the fans. What do you guys think could possibly be there?
And what I was thinking is, if they're doing something for the fans, maybe they'll have some newer games they can try out while they're at the event. That would be
Okay,
pretty
like
neat.
yeah, that'd be cool.
So maybe it's like a new game, and then the fans are playing it, and it's live, and then it's a big, it's this big community thing, and everyone's having fun, and kind of help them out a little bit because I know people aren't, greatly happy with what they've been doing lately. So.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, what better way to get people excited than for them to be able to play their games? And, there's
Yeah.
um, Mirror's Edge 2 or Catalyst. I forget its name. The new Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be at E3, but if it were that, I imagine it will be playable. Of course, FIFA 17, Madden 17,
Isn't Mirror's
sports
Edge
games.
out in like March or something like that?
It might be. I haven't been following it, so
I'll look it up again. I'm the release date guy.
okay. Yeah. I know they have Mass Effect Andromeda, which is huge.
Yes.
May
I'm
24th.
curious. Okay, May 24th. Okay. I imagine, because there have been conventions where games are already out, but, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would assume they have it there because
Yeah,
it's only like a
most
week or
likely.
two before you
Yeah,
see.
it's a few
Mm-hmm.
weeks. I wonder what they would do Mass Effect Andromeda, whether it's just for the press, behind closed doors, or if the public can get a sneak peek and maybe a demo or some kind of interactive thing where they can see Mass Effect Andromeda firsthand there.
Yeah,
Uh,
sort of going off the last story on this thing that I'll just like skip to kind of just because it's related
okay,
to
okay,
EA stuff. It says that Mass Effect Andromeda, the new Battlefield, and Titanfall 2 will all be out before or during their fiscal year 2017, which ends on March 31st, 2017.
okay. So
So
it was
most of those
what,
games
Mass
must be
Effect
pretty far into
Andromeda,
development by then.
Titanfall 2, and
Yeah.
Battlefield. You said.
Yeah, Mass Effect, Battlefield, Titanfall.
Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing a Titanfall 2 demo or something there. I forgot Titanfall's with EA, but that's pretty cool. So to get into Sarcastic Snake's question, which they kind of tie together. Sarcastic Snake, what a guy. So this is our Twitter conversation. He said, "Can I tweet you guys my question out?" And I said, "Never." He said, "Fine." I said, "Ugh, what's your question?" He's like, and his question is, "Do you think anyone else will drop out of E3 this year?" And then I replied, "That's a
Ooh.
damn fine question."
Who is the
Um,
sarcastic snake character?
he's an
Listen,
interesting guy.
can't say who. I don't want to reveal his identity.
No, we
I've
can't.
already done it before and I had to edit out of the podcast, and I'm not doing it again.
It's Cody.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
Cody.
So
Who would
what was
drop
it?
out
Who
this
do you guys think, if anybody were to drop out of E3, who do you think it would be? Because
That's a good question.
when I think of E3, I think of Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony. So I
Yeah.
can't foresee them.
I
You know.
mean, Ubisoft shows have kind of been lackluster. They're like last year was for sure. That was, I think, my least favorite conference.
Yeah. I.
Other than what's that game? For Honor.
Oh yeah.
Other than
For
that,
Yes.
That looks pretty sweet.
Yes.
Was
It's
that
gonna be
was that
awesome.
section I couldn't play. The lines were crazy. Yeah, I could very well see Ubisoft. They have. I doubt they wouldn't show Assassin's Creed. They have, of course, their annual stuff in Just Dance. They have, maybe.
yeah, no, they wouldn't show Assassin's Creed because
No,
they're moving to that 2-year thing now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, for whatever reason, I'm having a brain fart, so I can't think of like what else Ubisoft has that they would show off.
No, they have you said Just Dance. They have. Yeah, let me look at Ubisoft here. I'll review their last year.
I think I think if they, I don't know if they'll drop out per se because I think
Yeah,
they
I
know
don't think they would. I
I
don't
think they
think
would
that they
still want to
would.
be there, but I think they, if anyone like someone like Ubisoft, they might do like go the EA route where they have like a big event for the fans and
A
stuff to kind of.
Uplay event.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
um, I was listening to the Kind of Funny Games cast today, and they were talking about the EA news, and they were saying how apparently EA has they cover a massive part of the show floor at E3, so it'll be this giant hole that needs to be filled, and will be, but as that sounds like EA was a huge part of E3, so I'm curious to know, how big is Ubisoft because they're one of the bigger companies too.
Hmm.
Um, I can't see them dropping out.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
see them dropping out, but I'm just saying, like, out of
Mm.
all of them, I feel like they're the most likely.
Yeah, if anybody, they could definitely do it. But again, I don't think it will be a trend. EA, and then that's the domino effect. So and so drops, and then
Yeah.
Oh
everybody else
yeah.
drops. I think EA makes sense because they just haven't had the strongest conferences. Like they've
Hmm.
always had the most lukewarm reception, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. And Ubisoft always is always willing to reveal a new interesting IP. So it would be tough for me to see them drop out, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So the big things shown last year was Ghost Recon Wildlands,
oh, that's right, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
For Honor,
they would probably show that at E3. I
yeah,
don't think they would drop out.
South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
Grant, please.
What?
Come
No,
on.
I'm
What's
sorry.
wrong
I
with
need
you?
Family
to say.
friendly
But
podcast.
most importantly, they showed off the Crew Wild Run.
Do you
Your
play that?
favorite game.
No, the Crew sucks. Don't play the Crew. It's so bad.
6 out of 10.
And I like
I'm
racing
excited.
games. I
I'm
do
excited
not
about
like it at
For
all.
Honor. I'm ready for that one. I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
cool.
I wouldn't mind seeing a release date. Yeah, no, there's no way Ubisoft is dropping out of E3.
No, I don't think they'll
Scratch
drop out
that.
altogether. You know what? We'll just
No,
go
because I
next year.
remember
Go back
because
in time.
I was going to review the Crew originally when it came out, and then like when I was finishing the game, I was like, man, this is a long game, and then I like when I was going through review like pros and cons and stuff, I was like, wow, I really don't have anything good to say about this game. Like,
There you go. Well, it's okay. Not every racing game is Kirby Air Ride.
eh,
Oh
that's
boy.
true. Crew is not Kirby or right at all. It's the opposite.
Yeah, like if I had to guess, is correct me if I'm wrong, is Square at E3? Square Enix?
They were, yeah, last year.
Yes, they were.
And are they there? Do you guys know if they're there every year?
I have no idea.
I'm sure they'll be here this year.
Yeah,
I don't see why they wouldn't.
yeah, depending on the Final Fantasy release date, and I'm sure they maybe could show some Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
stuff. I
Kingdom
don't,
Hearts.
maybe
Yes.
we'll see. They still have a lot of RPGs and other games out there too with Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, and everything. So I can see them at E3. I don't know if they're an annual company that's there, but I can't really say who would be most likely to drop out. Because I don't see this as a trend. I think it's just EA
Yeah.
for specific reasons, whereas Ubisoft hasn't had the negative average reception that EA
Hmm.
has gotten. So it's I can understand EA.
Good question though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sarcastic sake. Thank you for that question.
Good job, buddy.
Um,
Let's move on, 'cause this is gonna be a long episode anyway.
yeah, no, we're gonna move on to the last minute stuff. We can skip the rest of the news.
Oh,
So
okay, let's do it.
let's go into PAX.
Just to quickly state it, in case you're interested, The Witness is being pirated a lot. Jonathan Blow's been tweeting about it. He caught like one streamer that had like 6 million viewers or something like that, and then he was like, we can tell when it's a pirated version of the game. So yeah,
Huh, okay,
Ouch.
he's just been tweeting a lot about it. It's still selling really well. I know a lot of people love it. Our review, I think Ryan posted it in edits, which I'll look at
yeah,
after.
the review will be up either tonight or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
expect Ryan's review
Yeah.
Yes.
within
And then
the next 24 hours.
next, Beyond Good and Evil 2, still happening.
Jake
Oh.
Decker,
Jake Decker,
his
yeah, I
his
know,
little heart can't handle it. He has
All right.
serious attachments to that, to be on that one. The second one was announced a few years ago, and it just
I
kind of
remember
went
when
into
he
the ether.
predicted it to be at E3 like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's the new Last Guardian.
It is.
Oh, geez.
Anyways, let's move on to the last minute. So, Grant and John, let's talk about PAX South.
What's that?
What stuck out to you guys for PAX South? It's some
It's just
expo
some small little thing
in,
that we go to.
Texas. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's,
So,
Well,
but you guys were there and you were playing some games. Why don't you talk about what your favorite games were, or maybe some games that you weren't expecting to like, but you thought were really fun. Kind of games you never heard of, but you're saying, oh, you guys should check this game out when it's coming out. Because I had that experience at PSX. There are a couple games that I had no idea existed. And I was like, oh, this game's great. I'm very excited for its release.
all right. So, John, you wrote an article on site called "Here Are the Games I Played at PAX South 2016."
I did.
So I thought that we just go through it and just share.
Okay.
Our thoughts.
Let's do it.
So first up, Den Von Stra.
Please try to say that. Okay, so that one, and okay, so that one.
So weird.
It is very weird, but it is awesome in the way that it is weird because I don't think everyone's done this before. So the game is you don't even actually play at all. You just watch.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
watch it.
And it's
one.
it's all made by one guy. It's it's a 8-bit looking world and everything, and it's one dude. So basically, you just watch this AI person basically just platform across the screen. And what happens is he learns as he goes. So like say he falls down a hole, when he restarts, it kind of resets. He knows not to do that again, so he'll jump over to the next platform and keep
Okay,
going.
so self-learning.
Exactly. And so basically, when you start the game, you see this mountain in the back. Basically he's getting to the mountain in the back. So the scenery is always going to change when he completes each kind of stage and everything. And the interesting part is, and this is where he kind of freaked everybody out a little bit, is say he's learning in a way you don't want to, like say, he couldn't really elaborate on that too much because he couldn't show us. He didn't want to show us too much of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But there can be parts in the game where you don't want him to learn a certain way, like instead of climbing, you want him to duck or something like that. If you want to reset it and then it starts the whole game over, so he can learn everything again, clean slate, you have to prick your finger. And you have to take a blood sacrifice.
Real
you have
blood
to take
sacrifice.
The hell?
Yes, and that restarts the game. Restarts the game. Yes,
What?
it was.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What is this?
I don't know, but it's
Not
so
very sanitary.
interesting. It's not, and he's making like 50 custom controllers where it's just a button. You don't have to prick your finger. But he's like, yeah, if you want to restart the game, it takes a real blood sacrifice from pricking your finger to restart everything.
I have heard of that control. No, I think it was like a meme. Like it was like, when you play Dark Souls, it takes part of your takes blood from your finger. But
Right.
That's pretty interesting.
It is very interesting. I definitely didn't believe him at first, but he was like, "Yep, you got to prick your finger, and then it starts everything over." I was like, "Okay."
I mean, the dude was cool. He kind of explained a lot of the deeper meaning behind it, which I wouldn't have gotten at all if he didn't explain it. Which yeah.
Nice. So, do you know what platform? Like, does he have a release date or anything?
No, but he says he was greenlit on Steam, I believe.
Okay.
So I assume it's just going to PC. I don't know if it's going to come out to anything else.
I would
and
assume that it's only PC just because of that controller thing.
Yeah, and he said, I mean, if you have it on PC, you can just press enter. You don't have to just prick your finger if you don't want to. But I think when you buy the game or something, like I don't know if it's in the store, you can buy the little prick the finger thing. I'm not sure yet, but he didn't elaborate on that too much. But that in itself is interesting. So
interesting.
Huh. Nice. Let's go into something more lighthearted.
Okay. Brawlhalla.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yes.
Dude, Brawlhalla is so fun. I played that.
It was very fun.
I won my only match I played. No big deal.
Yeah. Okay. So Friday I saw it. And I was like one of the first things I tried, and then they were like, "Oh, it's already out on Steam, but it's coming to PS4 in the summer."
I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, okay. I'll look at this, and I think it's gonna be free to play forever or something. So. I played it, and I'll give him a butt kick because I'm not good at those. But then Grant plays the next day, and he beats everybody. I'm like, what are you doing? So
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's really
Coming from the
fun.
person who's terrible at Smash.
Yes, it's great. It's so much fun.
The thing that was throwing me off
it's
is
very
that, like,
similar to Smash, but it has different mechanic. You know, it's definitely influenced by Smash, but and it has
Yes,
its own mechanics. I
it
like the
does.
whole jump mechanic and everything.
'Cause you can
the,
jump
the thing
three
that was
times.
throwing me off about the jump is in Smash, like, it's just you move the stick up, and this it's actually X. So
Yeah,
that's what
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, different controls, of course, but
right.
I haven't played it in some time, but I remember you know, being, can't you like jump to the side of like, the wall and then it kind of resets the jump counter?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's cool.
It's cool.
I
Excited about it.
I think it's partially because I just like was learning where my character was, but like it was tough to determine like how much health I had or like when I was gonna get knocked out. But it's you know there's a lot of weapons that spawn in and everything. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad it was there, and I'm glad you
Yeah,
guys
fun
got to
for
play
sure.
because Jason and I played it at PSX and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about it on
Next
PlayStation.
up, a dual hand disaster tracker. I never played this, John. That was a
Oh, we
mistake. I was
forgot to
supposed to
play.
play it, but
Okay,
then
yeah,
we
you
got
didn't
busy
do
with
it.
stuff.
We did. We were doing important things. But yeah, so this one is again, it's one guy who made everything, and the game looks really good. So basically, you start off. It's kind of like typical space shooter, Galactica. You shoot stuff, comes down the screen. You're at the bottom, and you move them.
Hmm.
And then, so when that you go through like a short 2 minute tutorial from that, and then you go to another one. And what that is you're a ship. It's more 3D looking, and you go around and get materials and like like parts for your ship. So
Right.
what that's doing, eventually, when you finish that little 2 minute tutorial, then you're looking at both screens. So the left half of your controller is the left screen, the right half is the right screen. So on the right, you pick up materials and stuff like that to like what's a good word for it?
Do you transfer it over to your?
Yes. So it fuels. That's a good word. Fuels the ship on the left.
Okay.
So the ship on the left can run out of like fuel and bullets and stuff like that.
And is
So the
that
ship on
vice
the
versa? Is like does the left help the right side?
So
Yes.
what the left side does when you're shooting the enemies, say you don't shoot an enemy, the left side, if like a ship goes down, you don't kill it, it goes on the right side ship and starts chasing you around.
Oh.
So you're controlling both ships at the same time. You're trying to shoot on the left and you're
Oh
gathering
wow.
resources on the right. It is super intense. And the whole
Sounds hectic.
yeah, and you're just trying to get a high score. And the thing is, you can like once you reach a certain point, after that you can just you can quit, quote unquote quit at whatever point, and you
You
press two
have to
buttons.
quit to get your score saved.
Yeah, like if you die, you don't get a score. So you have to quit. Like you have to press two buttons at the same time and get your score. But like the whole time is you have to you have to shoot people on the left screen. 'Cause if you don't on the right screen, you have to get resources. But you can't if a ton of people are chasing you around trying to kill you. So
Hmm.
it was crazy. Like I was bugging out, man. I couldn't do it. I only got like 10,000 points, and the
Get
highest was like
10,000 points. The highest is like 3 million. I have no
yeah, the
idea
highest
how
is like
anyone got
3 million. I was like, this is impossible, and it was super fun. Like it was like I was almost sweating. The guy was laughing at me. And he's a real cool dude too. And but yeah, that was a real fun one. And Grant didn't play it. I wanted to see you do it, but you didn't do it.
Yeah, I was gonna do it, but we had stuff to do.
But yeah, that one's what is that? It's called Tracker. It's super fun.
Nice, nice.
Real intense.
Next up is Night Squad. Cannot brag about this one. I finished
I
7 out of
can.
8
This
players.
one's awesome. So this is
It's
like
fun for sure. I just wasn't very good at it.
yeah, this is like For Honor Light. This is like so what we did. I think there's more game modes to it, but what we played
It's not
is
really like For Honor.
it's not really, but it kind of is because there's knights. But
There's Knights.
that's like the only thing they have in common.
Okay.
The mode we did, I guess it was free for all. So there's 8 players and it's 1v1v1v1v1. And what you're trying to do is basically it's capture the flag and bring it to your side. And it's like
Yeah,
a
so everyone spawns on the outside, and there's like what is it in the middle? Like a trophy.
trophy, yeah.
So
And
yeah,
like
so there's a trophy in the middle, and then you wherever you spawn, you have to try to get to the middle, grab the trophy, and bring it back to your spawn point. But since it's free for all, everyone is trying to kill you while you try to do that. So it's really pretty hectic. But it's definitely super fun, like party game.
So it's like a steal the bacon type thing.
Yeah,
yes. And just
Okay.
picture Pac-Man. You control knights and you're trying to capture the flag.
Okay,
You kill-
cool, cool.
Yeah.
yeah. I was
It's-
thinking Pac-Man when I played it.
Yeah, and it like takes one hit to kill everybody, so you're always dying, always killing people. It's super fun.
Nice, nice. Huh.
Yes, fun game.
Yes.
Anything else on that list?
Lot more.
Knee Deep, John. Do you want to talk about this at all?
Okay, yeah, this was a very narrative storytelling driven game. Not a lot of controls. Basically, you there's a murder that happens, and it all takes place on a stage, so it's like you're looking at a show.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 acts, and you control 3 characters, and basically it's more of like choices, decisions. None of them are wrong. It's just the ending, depends on it.
Mhm.
So it was pretty cool. I saw myself on the TV yawning a few times, just because there's not a lot of action, but it did start to get kind of interesting because like the voice acting and stuff's really good, and the story started kind of pick up and then the demo ended. But it was interesting. But it probably wasn't one of my favorites, but it's not bad.
So is it similar to Telltale at all?
Yes.
Okay, it sounds
There's
like it's not
yes.
as, choice
Yeah,
consequence as Telltale, but,
right.
it can impact the ending and everything.
And what I played, there wasn't really all you did was just talk to people and make decisions and do this. And it's very like good bad. Like if you make a decision, this person won't be your friend anymore, and then you have
Mm-hmm.
to balance everything. So I'm sure the game, when you have more of the game, it's better. But I didn't. I played like 5 minutes of it, but it was interesting.
All right.
Nice. Nice.
So these next couple games, I'll just go through kind of quickly. Alice in Tokyo Wonderland. John, I know I didn't play it, but I know you said it was like kind of fun. Really wasn't much to it.
There was
just
not a lot. You ran around and killed a few things, but
yeah, it's just like action game.
it was fluid. But that's about all I played.
Yeah. All right. And then Deckbound is a PC sort of like
I kicked
what
your
would you
butt.
call it? Strategy. You did kick. I had no idea what I was doing.
It was like it's like a card game. The one cool thing is like you have abilities and you fight your friends and stuff, and you can see which abilities you have, so you can kind of strategize what you want to do next move. It was pretty fun. I killed Grant, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's
It's a
that one called
browser.
again?
It's called Deckbound.
Deckbound.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a browser game, which is kind of the cool thing about it. That
Yeah, you don't have to download it. You just play it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And then Eternal, John. I don't really remember you talking about this.
Okay, so this was actually really cool. I like this one. It's just knockoff of Hearthstone. I'm not saying it is, but just picture that.
Right.
But it's pretty simple. The presentation is really nice. Like just the way you're bringing to the game and how everything looks pretty cool. The guy that was helping me play it, the one match I played against the AI, I won. It's pretty simple. It's really the same thing, but just different characters and stuff like that. But it's a little bit more simple. I liked it. It was fun. So I mean, it's just kind of the same thing, but it was enjoyable.
Nice. Nice. Real quickly to finish up, Grant, is there anything that stuck out for you?
Yeah. So there are these last 4 ones that we'll try to go through quickly. Again, these were like the big ones I mean, Capsule Force were like that's just so fun.
Yeah, dude, it's so great.
Like me
I
and
wish it
John
was
just walked
online.
out to it. We kind of just had some downtime. We were just walking around. We just saw it. It was open. The station was open. No one was around it. So we're like, hey, we'll go play this. And
Yes.
then, so basically, there's a platform. There's 2 platforms, and then you spawn on either side of the screen. If you jump on the platform, it'll move towards the opponent's base. And your
Wait, I
goal
think
is,
I played this.
have you played it?
And you're shooting a gun and
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, I play this.
It's great.
Do you know it was Iron Galaxy Studios?
It is.
Yes. Oh my God, I played this at PSX.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
That
because
game,
it's on
that game's
PlayStation
so much
now.
fun. That game is so
Yeah.
much fun.
It's a ton of
It's
fun.
it is awesome.
But
Yeah,
So you
I
just
played
try
that
to
with,
basically capture the other
the
opponent's like
team.
item.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Super fun local co-op.
I wish it was online.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's right. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
All
coming to PS4, right? Yeah,
It's on
yeah,
PS4
I played it on
and PC now.
PS4.
Okay, so last 3 we'll kind of go through
Three-
quickly just
three
because
big
we're
ones.
running a little bit long.
Yeah.
But these were the big ones. We actually had appointments. We got to meet with the devs. First, let's just do Inner Space. John, why don't you talk about that?
Okay, so the dev team is 6 guys. They came out. They're like right out of college, so they're pretty young. They're all really cool. The game is Inner Space. It's a space exploration game. So basically, you control the cartographer.
Mhm.
So basically, you're just kind of flying around, mapping out, the environments. But what's interesting is it's all these interconnected like spheres, these worlds, and everything is flipped inside out. So basically, gravity is pulling outwards. So it's a bunch of floating mountains, towers, things like that. And what you do is you fly around, you find relics, and what the relics do is once you find it, You can kind of like say you pick up a relic, you go to your inventory, you can inspect it, and once you kind of inspect it, you can find clues to tell you, what's going on with the world, where everything come from, what happened, stuff like that.
Nice.
And then there's also a person, he's called the archaeologist. You can bring the relics to him, and he can tell you more about the world and everything like that. The game looks super fantastic. The art is really great. The music is what I think brings it all together.
Yeah, music is super good.
If you don't play with the music, it's not the same. The music is stellar. It's almost, I would say, perfect for the game. Like, it really makes
For
the
the
game.
game, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And it's not super actiony. You fly around. The worlds look really cool. It's with each world, I think there's 3 or 4. We got to see 2 of them. There's a demigod in each one. So you have to, towards the end, once you're, I guess, quote unquote, done with the world, you fight the demigod at the end. You have to beat him and everything like that. But there's not a lot of, you don't really do too much. You fly around. The whole world's pretty much interactive. But
I broke the game.
You did break the game. He was flying around, he got stuck, and we had to
Yeah, I
restart.
got stuck. He's like, it's kind of hard to get stuck, but it's happened sometimes.
He did it. He got stuck. But the cool thing is, well, I guess the big thing is they're indirectly kind of competing with No Man's Sky. But the interesting thing is when we talked to them, they were like, well, we're not trying to be like that, which is good because No Man's Sky is going to be just bigger
No Man's
in
Sky
scale.
is completely different.
Yeah, and which they said, they want to be more like a rainy day game where you kind of sit back, relax, you explore, you find new things because the whole world is you can go anywhere that you see in the game. So that's the fun part. But I thought it was very interesting. The dev is really cool. All the the whole
Devs
team
are
with the 6
from
guys.
Dallas
Yes.
represent.
Yeah, they're right there, in Dallas. But I'm super excited about it just because they told us a lot of stuff, but they didn't at the same time. So there could be, they said they want to be a lot of discovery. They want you to, go to every inch of the world that you're in and find stuff. So I'm excited about it to come out. And they said it's supposed to be on PC this summer. So pretty.
You bought a lot of their stuff.
I bought all the stuff they had.
Nice.
I pre-ordered it. I got a shirt. I got all their posters. I got everything.
2 shirts.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Next, Lightfall. I love this game.
You did love this game.
I did. So I'll be writing an article up for when was it? I'm writing it today. I'm gonna post it tomorrow probably.
Tomorrow. Okay.
So Lightfall is a platformer. It has a really cool art style. I kind of was thinking kind of like Limbo mixed with
colors.
What was I saying? Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's Limbo with color.
It is.
So basically, you're this little dude. You're just going around. The cool thing that makes this kind of like its big new mechanic is that so you can create your own platform under you. You can make like a little box appear under you. So you can place this block 3 times, and before you have to touch the ground to reset the amount of times you can use it. So that way you just can't spam it and just get through all the levels. But you can also use the block to block laser beams, solve puzzles, stuff like that. There's the level that we played. There is a boat that you had to use the box for to make it the boat go. And then you had to dodge enemies as you went. So it was super cool. There's the speed run mode that the dev showed us. It was insane. I have no idea.
It is very insane.
Oh,
wow. He was super good at it. Obviously. But so yeah, Lightfall. I'm really excited for it. I think what did he say? PC and Xbox One.
Yes. I know.
I think PC first and then Xbox One and PS4, right?
I think they said PC and then consoles after.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks and that's actually a 3-man team. So it's very
wow, nice.
Yes.
Those were cool guys too.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. John.
And then the last one, this was the VR game that we got to play. The game itself was pretty simple. Basically, you're just a marble. It's a platformer. So
you're Indiana Jones.
You have the Indiana Jones hat on. The game itself,
nice.
The game looked really nice. But it's just simple. It's just a little platformer. But the VR was awesome. Holy cow!
It's interesting because it's third person. Because most VR games are first person.
Yeah. So you look into it and you can you're not looking from the Marvel's perspective. You can see the Marvel from afar. But it was the demo lasted 2 minutes. But the VR was it was so great. I can't wait to play all the games like that.
I was surprised by it because that third person I didn't really know what to expect. It was my first time using VR too. So yeah, but the third person, like especially when the camera rotated and the stuff, it makes you feel like you're actually in the space that it's in.
Yeah, and
Um,
you can like you can look around and everything and the
yeah,
environment. It's
like
it,
I was just looking around just to see how it looked.
yeah, it was pretty sweet. I'm excited for the future of bigger
Yeah,
games using it and stuff like that. But yeah, that was Marble Mountain. That was a fun game.
Nice, nice. And that was John and Grant's experience at PAX South. It sounds like
PAX.
a lot of exciting games. I know I got to play Brawlhalla and Council Force, and
Mm-hmm.
I can vouch for them. Those games are a lot of fun, and definitely look forward to those two. And of course, check out the site and get to read John's impressions. And tomorrow, you can read Grant's impressions on some of the games they played, and it'll be very exciting. So that is going to wrap up episode 48 of the Game Bowl Podcast, the
Yeah.
official podcast of thegamebowl.com, which normally posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday, but we are streaming and recording this on a Tuesday because I had to go to the gym.
Goof.
um, so yeah,
Brett had to get stacked.
yes, I
Yeah.
had to get ripped. Yeah,
Rats.
it's gonna be on iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. Some of the recent stuff that we have done. Dylan put up his Darkest Dungeon review. Ryan had his interview with the Soma developer Ian Thomas, and our most exceptional game, Rocket League, and of course, Cody's spamming the Smash, which we have had a little bit of a hiatus, but they will be
Shameless
back
plug.
every
Humble
Friday,
brag.
of course. Every Friday we'll be hosting a Smash tournament, and actually, as of tomorrow, we're gonna have two new Smash characters and a new stage and everything. So,
Ooh.
the more the reason to play Smash Bros. This Friday with us,
Mhm.
and we will tweet out the details, and we're gonna stream it and everything, like we usually do, and that's always a lot of fun to get to play with some of our fans, and coming up soon, expect, of course, Ryan's review of The Witness. Kyle just put up his review of Cobalt.
Yep, that
I'll,
just went up.
I'll have my Final Fantasy Explorers review coming up.
Dylan's Darkest Dungeon.
Yep, Dylan's Darkest Dungeon.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anything else?
I'll have Avengers review in the next few days.
Okay,
with
nice.
Legos
Nice. Yeah,
Avengers.
we have
Yep.
quite a few reviews, all diverse games. So
Get pumped.
yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up
stacked.
here. And
Get
of course, you can follow us on Twitter at @the_GameBolts, and you can also follow all three of us on Twitter. John, where can we find you?
It is at Disco Panda 9000, all lowercase.
Grant, where can we find you?
You can find me at GrantRam3. I
And
was creative.
and you can find me at Brett Woodmansee, WOODMANSE. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.